Thank you very much. Again, thank you everyone for coming so late on a Monday evening. I know it's been a busy week already. It's been a long weekend and into the week. It's pretty good in timing. Kind of sitting in the middle of the pack, and I kind of like to step back a little bit. We've really been focusing on the concrete, the technology. I went the wrong way. There we go. So I want to kind of go back in terms from our perspective, at NIST, and developing the measurement science tools and scientific knowledge base for performance-based standards for additively constructed, 3D printed concrete structures. I think everybody in this room is going to echo that that's what we're here for. That we need to work on these types of efforts in order to provide the information that goes into developing standards. It was really well presented, kind of the first slide from Islam, that is two pictures that were there. We can't keep moving forward doing the same thing as we did yesterday. We need something different. As technology progresses, we need new standards, we need new ways to address the new technologies and not just keep trying to reuse and rehash some material, some standard or something that was designed for something that was completely different. So when we talk about standards and developing codes, what are some of the challenges for design and construction? Bing kind of touched on some of those, but some of them are the variability of the material. It could be the variability in the site conditions, the print method, mechanical properties of the different materials that you come across. We're not even getting in yet to joints and connections and how all of the objects or parts on a construction site actually come together. A wall to the foundation, walls to each other, other parts that go into a job site. We also then have to look at what standards address or do we need? What needs to be done out there for certain things that are going to be additive construction specific. Right now, there really aren't any. There's a couple in development, which we'll get to, but what are we going to deal with in terms of those? And then, to me, this is one of the most important part, perception. There's the public perception. If you go and you have a code or you have a standard on some object, something in construction, for example, that gives the public perception that comfort level. If you go, we all know concrete. When we design for cracked concrete, or we know concrete structures sway and move, but why do we put limits on those? Why do we put the deflection limits? It's not because the structure's not going to hold. Somebody doesn't want to walk across that bridge when it's bouncing up and down. So nobody wants to work in a high-rise structure whenever it's got 12 inches of drift. So we put a lot of these limits because it's the public perception. And how do we gain that public perception? I really like this slide. You can tell from my bio that I work a little bit in bio-based materials. I've worked on standards and development standards and codes for bamboo. And in that process, we start looking at things from the fundamental mechanics basis. We then work through test methods, development test methods. Then you get to standards. Then once we have that, then we go into field tests. And then we start looking, okay, well, let's look at the performance assessment. What happens with that structure once you've then got all that? And then you start building up the design criteria, and then eventually acceptance and utilization. I would say we're right about there. We're still looking at the test methods. If we ever want to get to codes, we've got to get through this entire section first. Figuring out what's the test methods that are going to be needed, how do we work onto that, and then start using that information to then start building on the standards. So what is a standard? I mean, we all are here working on different things for different avenues, but in a sense, standard tests provide a basis for establishing characteristics of material in a manner that is universal and consistently understood by practitioners, a lingua franca of sorts. Test methods must be reliable, repeatable, and transferable. I don't think we've met too many of those right now in some of the work that's been done. we need to all be doing tests in the same way. We need to create that standard so that we can all compare to the data that goes into that standard. For non-traditional construction systems using new materials, this requires that a method have utility in less than optimal field environments. We've gotten really good at repeating some of these tests and doing some of this work in a lab condition. Houses aren't printed in a lab condition. Field conditions are, and we all have experienced that. Our lab doesn't have AC. So I've tried printing it, in 100 degrees inside of a lab. It's impossible, at least in our current technology in our current state. So we put limits right now on the temperatures for the safety of our personnel, for foremost, but then also then for the materials and actually what are we printing for, and what are we going to actually get out of that. So from that, we're taking an approach for connecting the structural performance and failure modes to material properties requires a multi-scale research approach. The approach should be organized into 3 tracks. This is the way we've kind of organized our program, is that we want to look at, yes, the fundamental studies of the relationship between hydration products and formation and setting cementation. So we're looking at early stage properties. We're also then going to look at how the early stage properties of that material relate to the printing performance itself. And then we've got testing the response of 3D printed concrete structures to engineering design loads. Those are we've kind of broken up our tasks in this in order to try to focus on that, in order to start answering some of those questions and tackling from that perspective. Like we kind of said, we've heard it probably throughout yesterday and today. We've got issues with lab versus field, paste versus mortar versus concrete, what type of material you're dealing with. Additives and reinforcements are starting to become into the question, but what happens and how does that impact our end results? The geometry. I've seen at least a half a dozen different geometries for the same proposed test. We need to figure out what that is and so that we're all looking at the same part. Test parameters. Something is, if you look through all the papers, everybody's done it at a different load rate. So they've all cured the specimens at different conditions. Setting these standards so that we can together and coming up what are those methods going to look like so that everybody has that initial basic foundation. And then you can kind of branch off that and have something to kind of compare from. Now, that's not saying that we've kind of all said that, and Bing showed a couple things that have been being done. There are movements being done. Eric Krieger, sitting in the front row over there, leading the efforts at 564 in terms of structural design, testing methods. So there is a lot of work being done at that. 564 is broken down to 564 A, B, and C, emerging technology report, structural design and testing, material testing, and formulation. Some of the other members are in the room as well. So there is a large effort going through ACI that is being pushed through that. And then on the ASTM side, one has gone through and a lot of work is turned around and immediately being pushed forward. Currently, there are several work task groups that are being looked at. Some of us are members in this room. Are also members of some of these efforts. But hopefully, again, that moves us from that testing methods to standards. That next step will hopefully be filled in by some of these tasks, including some of the ones that Bing had a little bit more effort on that side and presented a little bit more. But in-house, we have an ITG guys that's going forward, and a few others. And with that, thank you.